Welcome to the show. I'm Jen. My guest today is Justin Hodge, co-founder of Muscular Moving Men. I'm sure you've seen their trucks branded all over the valley. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So my opening is that you're my ASU Sun Devil 100 competitor.
True.
It's all out of love and respect. However, we do get competitive for the Sun Devil 100. So you went to ASU, you're an alumni of ASU, and an accomplished entrepreneur. So congratulations on...
Thank you. Yeah, the competition is good. I like
Yes.
that. That's where we first met, Sun Devil 100.
Yep.
So the top 100 fastest growing businesses owned by Sun Devil owners. So yeah, I think I did win this year in our competition against each other, but there's always next year, Jen.
Yeah. But I won the 2 years prior to that, so
True.
He has to catch up next year. I'm sure that'll be an interesting one. But congratulations on all of your success. So how did you get into the industry to begin with? Because it's a unique industry. So did you grow up around it, or how were you exposed to it?
I went to ASU and I worked for a moving company when I was there. So yeah, I mean, the moving is not the most sexy industry that you can get into. So I'm kind of, what do I do? I need a job. All right, this is physical. I can stay in shape. So I go work at a local moving company right next to my school. And you kind of just learn the business. I'm 17, 18 years old, moved up pretty quickly and started, managing the office. They wanted me to do different things. And you just really learn this business. And so as I went through school, I went to the Cronkite School, so journalism, mass communications is what my degree was in, and hindsight makes really no sense when you look back. I'm not sure why I got a degree in PR, but you do kind of use it later on. So I knew I couldn't work for anybody because I'm not great at following directions from superiors. So, let's start our own thing, and we kind of just borrowed a truck and trailer from my dad and started moving weird, shady people on Craigslist. And you may or may not get paid at the end of the move, so we figured that out as we went and had a bunch of weird, crazy situations, and here we are 12 years later.
Now you say we a lot. There's a we, because I said co-founder.
True.
So tell me that evolution, because that's a great story as well.
So my business partner, Josh Jurhill, and I, both born in Scottsdale. We met each other early on at Boys and Girls Club. Competitive, again, it's kind of one of those things where iron sharpens iron. I feel like if I had done it myself or he had done it himself, we probably would have been successful. But because we're in the office every day competing against each other, you get, I think, higher quicker. So Josh and I kind of bring different skill sets. He's more back of the house, operational driven, and really good at setting goals and getting people focused. And I'm more kind of front of the house, marketing, business development, sales. And I feel like we could have really gone into any industry. It just happened to be moving. He didn't really know much about moving, but I knew that we were competitive guys and we were best friends. And I remember telling my dad, actually, I said, I'm going to start a business and I've got a business partner. It's going to be Josh. He said, oh, that'll fail. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I mean, business partnerships just fail. There's no way that a 50-50 business can succeed. And I kind of took that to heart almost as a challenge. But, here we are, and it is a struggle at times. But, I feel like I wouldn't rather be in it with anybody else.
And you have to respect each other and what someone's opinion is, and that's going to benefit the organization. And then you just kind of come together, and you can't just keep being in a battle of it. You have to understand the other's opinion and respect it.
Yeah, I think you have to stay in your lane and just see the big picture. I try not to get bogged down in the little details of whatever the day-to-day decision making is. Are we going to do this or do that? What's the big picture? And for us, I feel like we really just scratched the surface. So we're 12 years in. We've done 22,000 moves at this point. So there's thousands of people, and it's not like when you go online and just buy an item off Amazon, you get the item, you move on with your life. I mean, these people are emotionally vested in this process with us for weeks and months sometimes, and you talk to them. And initially when we were doing moves in 2008, it's the economic recession. So people are getting foreclosed on, they're losing their houses, and they're having the worst day of their lives. And that takes a toll on them, obviously, and on us. So it's been nice to see things change, and we're in a great spot being in Arizona right now, which we're excited about. People are happy now on moving day, which is great. So, but the plan is to expand nationwide and continue to grow.
So speaking of growth, you're not just Muscular Moving Men. You've launched other businesses and ventures and niches. So share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the moving industry, again, is not the sexiest business, but there's a bunch of little extra things that you can do. So for us, there's, now commercial moving we've been able to be successful with in the last couple of years. So we do a lot of office moving. So we're managing logistics nationwide for sports leagues like the XFL. We've moved Universal Technical Institute, which is 600 or 800 people, and as small as 1 or 2 people in a law office. So office moving, totally different art form. We have a specialist named Jim Stevens who came from the East Coast, absolute stud, and that's the world that he lives in every day. So moving companies that do both, yeah, we can do an office, we can do residential. You got to have 2 completely different entities that are doing this, and he's been great. And so now also in addition to that, we're doing junk hauling. So you know, those hoarder house situations that you've probably seen on TV where you're just kind of like, your head is in your hands. Yep, call us. No problem. We'll take care of that. And so again, we got a junk specialist, and that's what the world that he lives in. And convincing your staff not only to move furniture in 120 plus degree heat, but now we're going to move a bunch of stuff that nobody else wants to touch. It's a battle for sure. So I think, you know, you really got to be a master motivator. You got to be great at running a business and be sharp. And a moving company is really a moving company at the end of the day, but what's the difference? And for us, it's our culture, and the guys really genuinely want to be there.
Well, you have a perfect segue to my next question, is your culture, because it hits you right in the face when you walk in your main door. You've got a huge graphic on the wall talking about the pillars and the important elements that you want your team and probably all the vendors and partners that you work with to have. So how did that come to be, and why is the culture so important?
So we kind of stole it a little bit from this other company, Crescent Crown. We went down to the distribution center there and we saw their core values on the wall. I'm like, that's really cool. 6-pack of core values. I kind of like that. So for us, our 6-pack is here, Jen. You know, it's not like the kind that you drink, right?
Yeah.
So very important distinction. So it's quality, financial efficiency, respect, advancement, culture, and customer experience. And like you said, it's on the wall when you come in the building. You know, if our team doesn't remember it, you're gonna have to do some push-ups. You better remember it. It's what we live in. It's what's been important to us for 12 plus years. And, you know, that really says everything for us. So in addition to that, we just try to have a fun work environment for the team. So we've got a gym at our facility. We have great incentives for our guys to work there. Again, advancement. If you tell a guy to come move furniture for 12 hours a day and that's the only thing he's gonna do forever, I'm not gonna work here. How can I move up? So we have 25 people in our office now, and they all were pretty much former movers. So operations, sales, marketing, they just kind of ascend through the company, and we're growing. So they feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're excited about that. So there's 85 people total at the company now, and you know, we'll have an all-hands meeting once a month. And it doesn't start like any other meeting. There's a dodgeball tournament. I threw a ball. I threw a ball a little too hard one time. I hit one of the guys in the face. I felt really bad.
Geez.
Yeah, you got to still go out and move today. Sorry, but you build that camaraderie with the guys. It's early, it's athletic, it's physical, but they respect it, and I think they enjoy it.
And community is also a big thing for you personally and professionally. I know you're involved in the community. What are some of the passions that you have to give back to the community? And you do that through the company as well with nonprofits. Yeah,
so a couple of things. It's actually Muscular Moving Men Day, December 4th of 2019. We just celebrate it every year. I don't know if that's a thing, but literally there's a proclamation on the wall in our office from Mayor Kate Gallego that said it's officially Muscular Moving Men Day, December 4th.
Nice.
I don't know how many other moving companies have that, probably none.
That's pretty cool.
We got the Innovation Award last year from the Phoenix Business Journal, which was awesome. We love working with different nonprofits. We've had calls from groups like the Glendale Special Victims Unit called me. This was probably 2 years ago. And they said, we've called 5 other moving companies. We have some high-risk families that are victims of domestic violence. Would you guys be able to step in and donate a move every month just to get them out of this? And I said, sure. And they were blown away. And it's just something to me that is like a no-brainer. So we've had opportunities like that to take care of people because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it really is all about to me is, yeah, we can build a business that makes a lot of money and that's cool, but like, what's the legacy? What are people going to really look back and remember about you? And, you know, that's the stuff that's most important.
And I was going to ask, speaking of legacy, if your kids have any interest in the moving business, have you gotten them to do some side hustle from their schoolwork at the office?
So 8 and 11, Hayden and Hudson are still young, but I think they're going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. My daughter's a great writer. She's great. So I think maybe from a marketing standpoint, she could really put out some great stuff for us. My son loves to get active. I love going to the gym with him. He loves coming in there and just seeing what I'm up to. You have that like come full circle moment because I can remember going to my dad's office and seeing what he does, and it's a paint and body repair shop. So there's cars, and you see all this cool stuff happening. And he comes to my building, and there's 900 storage vaults being lifted 40 feet in the air with a big forklift and big strong guys running around the building. So I think it is pretty cool to see that as a kid, and there's a big building on the freeway that you pass by every day. So it is cool. I'm not sure where they're going to end up, but yeah, I would love for them to come work with me one day.
That would be fun. All right, so we're going to wrap up here in a minute. I just have a couple questions for you, and I'm going to look at my notes. Okay, I want some tips from you. What's the most important thing when finding a mover?
I think transparency. The industry has such a bad reputation. So everybody I talk to literally is like, oh, my last moving company, man, let me tell you, it was awful. So you got to kind of walk them back into that's not going to happen here. So just transparency. You want to know everything about how they're going to charge. Read all the detailed fine print on the paperwork they give you. Do your research online, read reviews, talk to friends, get a couple of estimates, and make the best decision possible.
Okay. What's your best packing tip?
Here's a big one. So if you're packing dishes in your kitchen, sounds counterintuitive, but the plates need to go vertically across the bottom of the box and not flat, because you're putting all the surface pressure on the bottom plate in the box. So if the box drops, the bottom plate's going to break. But if it's distributed evenly across, so use lots of paper, use lots of bubble wrap, mark the boxes so you know what's what. Better yet, let your moving company pack you.
There you go.
Which we can definitely do, and store it too.
I don't know if you know this fun fact. I don't know the answer, but how many times does the average person move? Is there something out there that talks about that?
So it's about 6 to 8 times in their lifetime. Every 5 years, people typically move. There's 35 million people a year that move. It's a $13 billion a year industry. So it's crazy. There's over 20,000 moving companies. And Arizona in particular is always one of the busiest, if not the busiest, inbound shipment state in the country. So people are moving here in droves now more than ever, especially from places like California and New York, that kind of thing. Well,
I'm super happy for you and glad that I get a little bit of a voyeuristic look at all you're doing. So thank you for taking your time. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next time on Now with Jen.